Hey everyone, and welcome back to Talk Tickers. We're diving into Toast's latest earnings call, breaking down their Q4 2024 performance.
Toast, they're a big deal in the restaurant world, even if their name isn't on the menu.
Right, kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Like the tech wizards, making things run smoothly.
Wizards, I like that. So they just crushed expectations this quarter.
They did.
Record new locations, huge profit growth, even GAAP profitability for the first time.
First time ever, yeah.
Pretty impressive.
And what's really interesting is it's not just one type of restaurant,
Oh, you mean like not just fancy places or just cheap eats?
Exactly. Small spots, big chains, they're attracting everyone. Like even Hilton Hotels uses Toast.
Wow, so that's 28,000 new locations in a year. That's a lot.
It is like adding a whole new city's worth of restaurants.
What's fueling all this growth, though?
Well, part of it is they're smart about going into new areas.
New areas like what?
So they're doing more with big companies, the enterprise segment, going international, and even getting into food and beverage retail.
Retail,
Yeah.
like grocery stores and stuff.
Yeah. And they're expecting to have over 10,000 locations just in those new areas by the end of the year.
On top of their regular restaurant business, that's huge. It's almost like they're taking over the world one restaurant at a time.
Right. It's impressive how they work with such different types of businesses.
Exactly. Like, can their platform really handle everything?
It seems like it can. Even high-end places are using them. There's this Michelin-starred restaurant, Revere.
Michelin star, so like super fancy.
Exactly. And they use Toast for everything, even down to, get this, adjusting their menu based on lobster prices.
Lobster prices, that's wild.
Right. So clearly, Toast can handle the needs of even the most demanding places.
So basically, no matter where you eat, from a food truck to a fancy restaurant, Toast is probably behind the scenes.
Most likely. And speaking of different types of food experiences, their move into retail is really interesting.
I mean, like grocery stores and things.
Yeah, and it's been so successful that they're putting together a whole sales team just for retail.
Dedicated team, so they're serious about it?
They are. They see a big opportunity there.
So it's not just a little experiment.
Not at all. And, they're solving real problems for these businesses. Take Kelly's Market, for example.
Kelly's Market.
Yeah, it's this place that has groceries, a deli, coffee, even a wine bar.
Wow, that's a lot going on.
Right. And before Toast, they had to use like a bunch of different systems. It was a mess.
I can imagine trying to keep track of everything.
And Toast came in and gave them one system that can do it all. Customer orders, inventory, tips at the coffee bar, but not at the grocery checkout. Everything's streamlined.
It's like they're bringing that online shopping convenience to real stores.
That's a good way to put it. And they're really smart about using data, too. They have this thing called a benchmarking tool.
Benchmarking, what's that do?
So it basically gives restaurants real-time info on, industry trends, what their competitors are doing, even hyper-local data.
So like knowing what's popular in their specific neighborhood?
Exactly. And they can use that to change their menu, staff properly, all kinds of things.
That's amazing. It gives them so much control.
It does. It's all about helping them make smart, data-driven decisions.
And speaking of smart decisions, Toast seems to be making a lot of them. Their numbers look great.
They do. Strong growth, customers sticking around and spending more, margins are good, strong free cash flow, all really positive signs.
They're growing fast and making money. A good combo.
Definitely. Investors are happy. Wall Street's paying attention.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
All right, but before we get too excited, time for our favorite part. This is not financial advice.
Always a good reminder.
Just for fun, pure speculation, We're just podcasters with big imaginations.
All right, so imagine this. Toast expands into retail so much that they get huge E.
Huge EE, like how huge?
Huge enough to get the attention of, say, Amazon.
Amazon buying Toast. Now that's a thought.
Right. Think about it. Amazon's always trying to connect online and offline shopping.
True, they haven't quite cracked that yet.
And Toast's technology could be how they do it. Imagine ordering online, picking up in-store seamlessly, all through Toast.
And using Toast's data to give people personalized recommendations.
Exactly. It's a long shot, but the potential is there.
It's a mind-blowing scenario. But don't blame us if you rush out and buy Toast stock based on this.
Just having some fun, folks.
Exploring possibilities. But seriously, back to reality for a sec. Toast had a killer quarter.
They did. Strong performance, lots of expansion, focus on data, all good signs.
Definitely a company to watch.
Welcome back to Talk Tickers on Toast. Before the break, we were talking about how Toast is expanding, going beyond restaurants.
Yeah, like moving into retail, that's a big move.
It is. Makes you wonder, what does this all mean for the future of, well, restaurants and retail? Are they going to blend together even more?
That's a good question. Imagine grabbing groceries while you wait for your takeout, or checking out new kitchen gadgets while you eat at a restaurant.
Right. The lines are getting blurry for sure, and Toast is right there in the middle of it.
Makes sense. It's all about convenience, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're the business owner or the customer.
Exactly. And Toast is using their data and AI to make everything smoother and more efficient. Remember that benchmarking tool we talked about?
Yeah, the one that gives restaurants all that real-time data.
Right. Well, they're doing even more with data. Think about Toast Capital, their loan program.
Oh, yeah. That's been really successful.
It has. And it's not just about giving out loans, it's about using their data to assess risk and offer tailored financing solutions to restaurants.
So they're not just throwing money around, they're being strategic.
Exactly. They're using what they already know about a restaurant's performance to gauge creditworthiness, makes it easier for businesses to get funding, and minimizes risk for Toast.
Smart move. And it adds to their take rate, right?
It does. Solidifies their position as a financial partner, not just a tech provider.
Yeah, they're becoming like a one-stop shop for everything a restaurant needs.
They are guiding them through all the changes in the food and beverage world.
Speaking of changes, what about Toast going international? They're kind of quiet about that.
It's definitely something to watch. They've mentioned it before. And with their success here, it makes sense to go global.
Imagine Toast being used in restaurants all over the world.
Right. The potential is huge. But of course, going international isn't easy.
Yeah, different rules, different tastes, all that.
Exactly. But if anyone can figure it out, I think Toast can. They're adaptable, they innovate, they scale fast.
And their platform's cloud-based, so that helps with going to different markets.
Good point. I'm curious to see how they approach it. Will they grow organically, partner up, maybe even buy other companies?
Yeah, and can they compete with local companies that are already big in those markets?
Interesting question. They'll need to play to their strengths, that data-driven approach, focus on customer experience, their whole ecosystem.
It's going to be fun to see what happens. But let's switch gears for a minute. What about their enterprise segment, working with those huge companies?
They're doing really well there, signing deals with big names like Hilton Hotels, shows their platform can handle those complex needs.
Yeah, it's more than just point of sale, right? It's about managing everything, inventory, payroll, loyalty programs, all that.
Exactly. And they're not just going after hotels, they're also in healthcare, education, even sports stadiums.
Sounds like Toast is everywhere. But seriously, it's impressive how they're moving beyond just restaurants.
It is. And it shows their potential for long-term growth. More revenue streams, stronger brand, new opportunities for innovation.
Plus, it says a lot about their product and their team. They're attracting top talent and building a great company culture.
Definitely a winning combination. But before we move on, I want to bring up something we haven't talked about yet. What about all the small independent restaurants, the ones Toast started with?
That's a good point. They can't forget about them while they're chasing these big clients.
Exactly. They need to keep innovating and offering solutions for everyone, from the tiny cafe to the giant hotel chain.
And keep it affordable too, right?
Right. They've done well with that so far, but it's something to keep in mind as they grow.
It's a balancing act, for sure. But Toast seems to be handling it well. They're growing, but staying true to their roots.
Agreed. It's an exciting time to be watching them. Who knows what they'll do next?
Welcome back to Talk Tickers on Toast. We've talked about their financials, their expansion, all that good stuff.
Data, AI, customer experience, lots to cover.
We did cover a lot. But before we wrap up, gotta have some fun, Ray. Time for This Is Not Financial Advice.
My favorite part.
Pure speculation. Just us podcasters with wild imaginations.
Lay it on me. What's your wildest Toast prediction?
Okay, so imagine Toast's data gets so good that they can predict food trends months in advance.
Predict trends, know what people will want to eat before they even know it.
Exactly, and they sell this info, like a subscription service, to food suppliers, companies, even farmers.
Whoa, so Toast becomes the food trend oracle.
Right. Farmers plant crops based on Toast's data. Companies make products to meet future demand.
That's a big idea. But it makes sense. They already have tons of data from restaurants.
And if they can use that to predict bigger trends, it could be huge for the whole food industry.
Huge. Less waste, more efficiency, better products. Everybody wins.
Exactly. They could even start giving personalized recommendations to people like, hey, based on what you like and what's trending, you should try this new dish.
Like a personal food AI. I love it.
Right. Of course, this is all just us dreaming, but it shows how Toast could change things beyond just restaurants.
Totally. They're not just building a company, they're building a whole ecosystem.
Okay, I think we've gone far enough down the rabbit hole. Time to come back to reality.
Back to the real world. But hey, sometimes the craziest ideas lead to real innovation, right?
Exactly. So, to sum it all up, Toast had an incredible quarter, strong performance, big plans. Definitely a company to keep an eye on.
Couldn't agree more. They're at the forefront of how we eat and shop, and it's exciting to see where they'll go next.
Well said. That's it for this deep dive into Toast's earnings call. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon with more insights from the world of finance and tech. Until then, happy investing, everyone.